Word up, peeps? Grandmaster C here. You see me on such fine quality epic chemistry educational videos such as how to tell if a formula is important or not, part 4, and why are we bothering with formulas at all, part 2. Okay, so for this assignment here, you're looking at how to read a formulas, and we got a how to read a formula worksheet. Formulas tell us what individual elements are in the molecule and how many we have of each. So there's two things you got to look at. There's a subscript and there is a coefficient. Most people know H2O, but what does that really mean? Well, there's two elements that are coming in. One is the hydrogen, and the other is the oxygen. By themselves, they're both gases, but when you combine them together, by the power of science, it becomes liquid water. Yeah, but now is how many? What's up with the funny number? That is a subscript, and it tells us the number of atoms in a formula. So when we look here, we see H2O. Okay, the 2 tells us we have 2 hydrogens in this molecule. You'd say, but wait a minute, you don't have a number here for the oxygen. That's because we assume that there's a 1 there, but we don't write the 1 because it just looks uncool and stuff. Yeah, okay. So for us here, here's an example, tartrate C4S4O6. So that means we have 4 carbon atoms, okay, 4 sulfur atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms. So that is the tartrate ion there. But there's another number you got to worry about when we look at formulas. Now, normally you won't see those on formulas by themselves. You're going to see those in chemical equations. Okay? And that's something called the coefficient. And that's the number of molecules that you have total of your formula. So, for example, if I look at, let's look at H2O, everybody and their mom knows, hey, that's water. Okay, so let's say I put a 5 in front of that. What is that telling me? That means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 water molecules, 5 H2O molecules. So how many H's and how many O's do I have total? This is where you have to do this ancient math technique called multiplication. Yeah. So we're going to go 5 times 2, and that gives us 10 hydrogens. We have 5 times 1 oxygen, that gives us 5 oxygens. That's it. That's all that it is. Another way to look at this, whoops, okay, wrong place there. Okay, let's try that. Remember, I have no budget, and there's only 3 people on the production team. Me, myself, and I. So for all the haters out there, just keep drinking that haterade. Okay, so when we say 5H2O, what are we really saying? We got 10 hydrogen atoms, 5 oxygen atoms. Okay, well, you know what? That basically means we have 5 of these H2O molecules running loose in our little thing. So we have 5 of them. So what you're seeing here, instead of drawing out every single one of these, that's why we use the coefficient. Okay, at this point, any questions? You can't ask questions. This is a video. All right. So with that, when you fill in the following table below, here's an example formula H2O. The first element is as in order. Hydrogen, you got 2 hydrogens. Okay. The second element, you have only 1 oxygen. Third element, there's an X because there's nothing. Fourth element, there's an X because there's absolutely nothing. Okay. So that's for the first part here with all these different formulas. They do exist in real life. Okay, and then down here on this side here, C3H8, you guys know that as propane gas. Chemistry in the real world. Okay, so with that, guys, there's 7, our coefficient is 7 of these C3H8s. So instead of writing out C3H8 7 times, we just put the number 7 there. Makes it a lot easier. How many carbons do we have? How many hydrogens do we have? 7 times 3, that gives us 21 carbon atoms total in our 7 propane molecules, and we have 7 times 8, 56 hydrogen atoms total in our 5 propane molecules, and we don't have any third or fourth elements in there. That's why I put the X in there. So, recapping, how to read a formula. You got 2 numbers. The ones that are on the bottom like this are called subscripts. They tell us how many atoms there are in a molecule. The second one is the coefficient. That's the big number in front of the whole formula, and that tells us how many molecules of that formula that we have. Hey, this is Grandmaster C signing off. Catch you on the flip side.